This is very nice. I've used this one before, but not for a considerable time. For someone who's a talker, I try to follow these. I don't always get them right. The mouth should have 3 gatekeepers. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? So the mouth should have 3 gatekeepers. Is it true? Is it kind? And is it necessary? I generally manage okay with the first 2, but the last one, not so good. I think it was Groucho Marx said, that's my opinion, and if you don't like it, I've plenty more. So I need a bit of work on the third one. Okay. The signature few words for this week is concentration, tranquility, and insight. Concentration, tranquility, and insight. So if you concentrate on something, you become calm, leads to tranquility, and with tranquility, you're slowing down your thoughts, creating some spaces, and it may lead to insight. So an example is this morning, I woke up and the birds were singing, but at the same time, there's a property being developed within earshot. So I had a choice of whether concentrating on the birds or concentrating on the developing building. So I chose the birds. So always we have that choice to concentrate on something calm, which will calm you down, create spaces, or to concentrate on something that will rile you up. Okay, down into Shavasana, please. We're going to go back to basics today into Shavasana with a 3-part yogic breath. So lying on our back. And for you, Odd, it's the palms facing upwards. Floppy feet. Palms facing upwards. Feet slightly more than hip width apart. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. So you don't want the head arched back, the chin arched back. Lift up the head, tuck the chin in, and find a comfortable position. Lift up the left shoulder and just roll it back down, which allows the left hand to open up. Lift up the right shoulder and roll it down. Now, just for the purpose of exaggeration, we're going to take the right hand and place it on our abdomen. And we're just going to start to breathe in, and we're going to exaggerate the movement of the abdomen, inflating like a balloon as we inhale. Wait for your natural pause. And then you gently pull the abdomen back towards the spine. Inhale, the abdomen rises, it inflates. Exhale after the pause and ever so gently pull the abdominal muscles back towards the spine. So I've said many times before, as we're inhaling and we're inflating the abdomen, it's allowing the diaphragm to push down and cause a distension of the abdominal organs. So I'm just trying to bring awareness to the simple process. As you pull the stomach back, it's squeezing out stale air in the lower lobes of the alveoli. And you can actually feel a gentle pull on the abdominal muscles. Of course, we're oxygenating the blood, cleansing the lungs, and bringing tranquility to the mental processing. Now we ignore the abdominal breathing and we take our fingers, place them on our rib cage, palms down, just with the fingertips touching in the rib cage. Forget about the abdominal area, and we're going to exaggerate movement in the rib cage. So we inhale and we're forcefully expanding the rib cage so the intercostals are opening up. As you inhale, wait for your natural pause and exhale as the fingertips come back and touch. You may not get much movement, but something will be happening. So we inhale, forcefully expand the rib cage gently. Fingertips may separate. Wait for your natural pause and exhale. A few more. Pause enough to exhale. You can feel a slight strain in the muscles, internal, external intercostals. And then exhale. Now ignore the rib cage, ignore the abdominal area, and you put your hand on your sternum, just under your chin. I shan't do it because it will cover my mic. And we're only going to look for the slightest puff of air just to fill up this top part. It's very shallow. Minimal air. And you can see how shallow the breath is, just into the sternum area. Nothing. So this is how many people breathe. It's such a shallow breath that it's really barely affecting change within the body. So now if you place both hands side of the body, palms facing upwards, and do the full yogic breath, one breath, but as you inhale, the abdomen is inflating. As the breath begins to fill up the lungs, it's up in the mid part of the lungs as the rib cage expands. And the final puff of air is up at the clavicle area. Wait for your pause. So at any time you can lie down, even if it's just 5 minutes, you set an alarm, you completely let go and immerse yourself in a full yogic breath. Diaphragm pushing down, causing the abdominal area to inflate. The rib cage expands. The final puff up the clavicle area. And as you exhale, you soften and surrender your body weight onto the ground and you really let go. As I say, if you're short for time, set an alarm, but to really let go for the 5 minutes, for the 6, for the 10 minutes. Let go mentally, let go physically, let go emotionally. And let the breath cleanse the body. One more breath. Then we take the soles of the feet together. We've done this a few times, allowing the knees to flop out to the side. palms together, fingers pointing down. We bend at the wrists. Then we take our thumbs up, tracing up over the body, over the mouth, over the nose. Keeping the thumbs tracing on the forehead, onto the back of the head, onto the ground if you can manage. Keep them as close to the ground as possible. As we stretch up, really stretching through the shoulders. And you can feel what you're doing with your intercostals and the rib cage. And as you exhale, you sweep around, down and out. Just adjust anything. Check that you're comfortable. Hands back to fingers pointing down through the groin. Inhale as you bend at the wrists. Take the thumbs up, bending at the elbows. You're really getting a slow, smooth, deep yogic breath. And you're elongating the torso. You can feel what's happening. It's a lovely, lovely supported stretch. It's not load bearing. And if you take your time and allow the muscles to get used to what they're doing, you'll gradually be able to increase the stretch almost effortlessly. It's a beautiful stretch. A few more in your own time. Focus on the natural pause as you're fully inhaled and you're completely elongated. And I'm feeling it in my intercostals. I'm feeling the stretch of my abdominals. Take your hands and help your knees in, and then stretch out the legs. Take a comfort breath. All we're going to do now is to flatten the curve, our lordosis in our lower back. We're going to raise each leg individually, but we're going to raise it in thirds and take it down in thirds. So our legs are stretched out. We're going to raise the right leg. Inhale as we lift it up a third. Exhale, keep the leg floating in the air. Inhale as we lift up a second third. Exhale and wait. And then inhale as we keep the leg straight, and you've got that final movement. So it's up to you to work out your thirds, but you must keep your leg straight. And as we come down, still on the right leg, obviously, inhale and exhale down a third. Inhale, exhale, lower, down another third. Inhale, exhale, down to the ground. And then we do the left leg. So it's in your own time. It's surprisingly strong with the thigh muscle. You can feel it. So we just alternate at your own pace. Inhale, and you come up a third. Exhale, wait. Inhale as you raise another third. Exhale, wait. And all we're looking for is keeping the leg straight. And you can feel that it flattens your lower back. Flattens that curvature. Up in thirds, down in thirds. With the breath and awareness, concentration leads to tranquility, leads to insight. Take a comfort breath in between if you need to. And just alternate at your own pace, your own depth of breath.
But I'm sure you feel what's happening to the thigh muscles, what's happening to the hamstrings, the abdominals, and your spine is getting a wonderful chance to compress onto the ground at the lower back. If you're getting a slight shake, that means you have to take a wee rest, because it means the primary muscles have got a little bit tired and the secondary muscles are having to take up the slack, and they are not so happy either. So a shake usually implies that have a wee break, then you go back to it. Keep your legs straight. Finish the leg that you're on. Then we're going to go into window wipers. So window wipers, we place the soles of our feet on the ground, parallel, have them slightly more than hip width apart. Depending on the width, depends on the stretch of the thigh muscle. So you can play about with this. We take our hands and we place them behind the back of our head, elbows on the ground, or as close to the ground as possible. Our feet are, soles are on the ground, slightly more than hip width apart, parallel. We'll look to the left and we'll roll the knees down to the right. Window wipers, and you get a lovely stretch through the left thigh. We stay in this position, head to the left, knees rolled down to the right. Just breathe into it. Again, it's not load bearing, but you'll certainly feel the stretch. I can certainly feel this one. Breathe slowly and deeply, and just soften yourself into the stretch. Check that you're not dropping the chin. Check that you haven't tucked the chin in, because that will just bend the neck as opposed to stretch the muscles that are attached to the occiput. And each time you exhale, take your awareness to the hip area and just allow the legs to let go. If you don't feel you're getting any stretch, you come up to neutral, place your feet a bit wider, and you should get a stretch. Inhale as you take the head, the chin up to neutral. Exhale as you roll the knees down to the left and you turn the head to the right. Checking that you're not dropping the chin. And then perhaps you're getting a nice pull on the outside of the right thigh muscle. Let the breath do the work. You're not trying to force, you're not bouncing, you're allowing. Slow, smooth, deep yogic breath. Waiting for your natural pause. And as you exhale, allow the weight of the legs to reach closer to the ground. Inhale in your own time. Knees up to neutral. Facing upwards. Stretch away with the right leg. And we're going to do universal spinal twist. So we're stretching away with the right leg. We're stretching out with our left arm. And we're taking the left leg and rolling over to the right. So we take the knee. If you're not sure what's happening, just have a wee look at the screen. So we're looking to the left, looking out to our palm, stretched out left arm. We've taken our left knee and rolled it over to the right. We've done this before. Universal spinal twist. And your right arm, your right hand is on your left knee. We're just softening into this position. It doesn't matter if your shoulder gets flat on the ground. It doesn't matter if your left knee doesn't come right over. It matters that you soften and surrender with each exhalation. Keep your chin parallel in line with your arm. If the pull is too much or the stretch is too strong, you just roll out of it just a few centimeters to take the pressure off, and then you start again, ease back into it. Few more breaths. Just simple, gentle stretches, but very powerful. So we release the left knee, slowly roll back to neutral. We stretch out the left leg and we bend the right leg. Stretch out the right arm. So right arm is stretched out, palm down. We take a right leg and we roll it over to the left, and we look to the right as we put our left hand on our right knee. Again, we have done this before, but it can be confusing if you're just listening to instructions. Universal spinal twist. Check that your chin is still up. I dropped it myself there. I was relaxing into it and dropped the chin completely. So I'm always having to correct myself also. If you're not fully concentrated and you allow your mind to drift, remember 6 seconds it takes for muscles, tendons, ligaments, structures start to adjust and to help you. Few more breaths. Ooh, yogic breath, natural pause. And I'll smile if you feel it. I just smile there naturally. Last breath. Slowly release your left hand. Slowly, slowly, slowly move back. Roll back. Stretch out the legs. Hodge about. Take your feet, place them at your seat. Flatten your back, your lower back. You're lifting up your buttocks ever so gently just to ease any tension, that lower back. And then we'll do the old favorite, Supta Pavamuktasana. Remember the wind releasing posture. Wind is energy, but of course we can release that other wind as well. Right, so we take our right foot and we slide it along, bending at the knee, and we gently clasp the knee. And we pull the knee towards the abdomen. We tuck our chin into the sternum and take our head towards our knee. It doesn't matter how far you get, but it does matter that the chin is into the sternum, which stretches the neck, squeezes the thyroid. Inhale, you can have as many breaths in this position. Exhale as you slide the right foot along. Inhale as we take both feet. Slide them along. Exhale as we clasp at the knees. Tuck our chin in and pull the knees gently towards us. I don't know if you heard that rumble of my stomach. This is exactly what it does. It's working on your ascending, transverse, and descending colon. It's massaging your stomach. It's squeezing your nodes and your lymph nodes in your groin and under your arms. Inhale as we slide the left foot along. Exhale as we squeeze and clasp. So we just continue at your own pace. Nice and easy, stretching the back, massaging the stomach, squeezing the lymph nodes, contracting the forearms. So it's right leg, both legs, left leg. That's the order of massaging the stomach. This is a very good one to do first thing in the morning whilst you're still lying in bed. You don't even have to open your eyes. You can hold the positions for as many breaths as you wish. Just a nice one to ease the body into action. If you find that your knees are going flat onto your chest, no problem. You can take your hands, place them between your knees and clasp the outside of the feet. If you still don't find that's enough, then you can cross the hands and take the opposite side of the feet. You can have a look at the screen if you wish, if you're confused. Inhale, release. On your own time. Right leg, both legs, left leg. Once more with each leg. Chin firmly into the sternum to squeeze the thyroid. Take a few comfort breaths. And then we're going to go into the bridge. So generally, if you flex your body in one direction, and you try and do it the opposite to balance things up. So we take our feet, place them to our seat. Without raising our seat, we raise our arms up, stretch them out behind us, stretch through, and relax. Inhale, stretch, stretch, stretch. We've already warmed the body up for this position. And relax. Inhale, stretch through your shoulders. Feel the intercostals and the ribs. My abdominals are getting stretched. And release. Now check that your feet are parallel. Check that they're beside your seat. And as you inhale, you can raise your seat to a position that you're comfortable with. And take right away, because we've stretched this here, right away, take your heels in a little bit closer now that you're up on the bridge. And all we're going to do is inhale as we stretch through those arms and then gently lift up. And you feel the thighs are getting stretched, contracted, the gluteals, and you're stretching through the torso. We're not going to lift the legs today, so don't worry about that. But keep your seat in the air if you can. It doesn't have to be an aggressive lift. Inhale, stretch through those arms. And soften. If you feel you're not getting a strong enough stretch in your thigh muscles, what you can do with your seat in the air is just gently take your heels a little bit closer and then try again. Ooh, that's it working for me now. Right away, I feel a strong pull through the thigh muscles. And I'm also getting a strong pull under my shoulders and the armpit area. So a few more, as passive or as aggressive as you wish. But always treating the body and yourself with respect. Concentration leads to tranquility, leads to insight. So with awareness, you always get answers. To come out, you inhale, you stretch through the arms. You start to lower the arms. And lower the seat, so the arms, the hands on the seat, reach the ground at the same time. Now you can stretch out your legs and lie in Shavasana and relax, or if you wish a slightly stronger stretch, we've done this one before as well, but it isn't for everyone. Keeping our knees bent, we take the right foot and we place it on the left knee. And you have two options here. You can clasp under the thigh, the hamstring area, under the knee with both hands. Or if you feel you have enough flexibility, you can clasp the knee. So you're clasping the left knee and your right foot is on your left knee. And you're gently squeezing. Inhale, gentle pull. It's a strong one. You can keep your head up as I'm doing, keeping the chin tucked in. Or if you wish, you can roll back and it's a different stretch again. Some people find it stronger, some people find it easier. So we're clasping either under the knee. I've adjusted my position so you can have a look if you're not sure, or over the knee. We're clasping the left knee and the right foot is on top of the knee. So again, come out of it at any time when you feel you've had enough. Release, and of course, we're going to do the other side. I'm going to release the left knee and take a right foot down. Take a few breaths if you wish. When you're ready, you take the left ankle, place it on top of the right knee, and then take your hands, put your left hand through the triangle, clasp under your right knee, or if you have enough flexibility, over the knee. And just relax into it. Some people don't like this one because it gives a slight ache on the neck. So you just roll back if you can and rest your neck, and you're still getting a stretch, a different one. But it's still a good stretch. It's quite strong. You be careful with this one, Sue, with the hip. I'm not sure if your condition's healed up yet as well, but this would obviously let you know. And as you exhale, your gentle squeeze. And as always, when you've had enough, slowly release. Everything's done slowly. Stretch out the legs. Have a few yogic breaths in Shavasana. Floppy feet. Take your left shoulder, lift it up, roll it down. Palms facing upwards. The right shoulder, lift it up, roll it back down. Shake the ankles, shake the thighs. Check your lower back, press it down firmly, and release. Slight pelvic tilt as you lower that natural lordosis and release. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. So you're actually just taking a few minutes to invest in the next few minutes. Let go of the face. Let go of the tram line, perhaps between the eyes. Soften the facial muscles, soften the jaw. Soften the teeth, the gums, the ears. Soften your neck, shoulders and arms. Soften your chest muscles. Your abdominal muscles. Soften your pelvic area. Soften your buttocks, thighs, hamstrings, knees, calf muscles, shins, ankles and toes. Take a slow, smooth, deep breath in, filling up the lungs completely. Just think of that nourishment, nutrition. Exhale. Let go of everything. Another breath. Inflate the abdomen. Expand the rib cage. Final puff of air into your clavicle area. Smile. And exhale. Now take your hands. Place them under your lower back, palms down. And gently sit up as you push it down. Now we're going to do animal relaxation. I don't think we've done this in Zoom yoga so far. So I think you'll have to look at the screen for this one if possible, but we take, I can only see one head, so I presume. Oh yeah, there we go. I almost forgot I was teaching there, so I don't know what happens there if you're all muted.
Okay, we're going to take the left leg and we put it round the side. Bend at the left leg, round the side. Animal relaxation. We have done this in the outdoor class. We take the right foot and look, we're placing it, the toes are in line with the left knee. So if you need to look at the screen, have a look. It's a very nice posture, this. So we're bent round at the left leg. We've got the right foot just in line with the knee. So this is the sitting position. And we're going to turn our torso. Turn our torso around to the right. And we're not going to raise our arms. The actual posture is when you raise up like this and you stretch out, but it's very strong in the lower back. All we're going to do is we're going to start to walk away, and we're going to roll over our right knee. Animal relaxation. So we'll walk out with the fingers, and I suggest you keep the fingertips in line, otherwise you'll stretch the opposite side. You won't stretch the back naturally, equally. And this is all we're doing, and we're gently coming down onto our elbows to wherever is comfortable. You may get completely down, that's okay. And then we just start to walk away the elbows. We're looking down at the ground. Animal relaxation. Inhale, and then we soften down and through. You're getting a strong stretch on the gluteals, perhaps. And you're definitely getting a stretch through the upper back muscles. This is why you keep your fingers in line, because if you let one hand go further ahead from the other, then you'll stretch the back in an unbalanced manner. And we just soften and surrender into this. If you're getting no stretch at all, then you come up and you take the right leg and move the foot slightly further forward. And then instead of rolling down over the thigh, you roll down over the lower leg. So Helen, you've sat up, so that would imply that you're not getting much of a stretch. So look, if I come forward down onto here like this, that's easy for many people. But if you take a foot slightly further forward, and then you turn around and you start to stretch just below the knee, so you'll get a much stronger stretch through the hip area. Just this camera, a little. So if you don't feel you're getting a strong enough stretch, you walk your way out of it, and you're basically turning your torso more to the left and taking your foot slightly further forward, then you walk forward. For me, this is very strong because of the cycling and swimming. So this is all quite tight, and this is as far as I can get. But it's a very nice stretch. And it's animal relaxation, so it should feel comfortable. It should feel very relaxing. And you allow the breath to release the body. I think you get the idea. So 3 more breaths. Again, you can stay in this one long enough. It's a wonderful stretch. And then you gently walk out of it with your hands. Slowly unravel the legs. And we go back to the other side. So we take our right foot around the side, pointing back. We take our left foot to the toes in line with the knee. And of course, one side is always going to be tighter than the other. So you can test this before you go further, before you go completely down. So we're turning to the left. And if I walk out with my hands, I can get quite far down on this side. And I'm basically flat down and not much is happening. So I come up right away and know that that isn't the stretch for me. So I don't want to go over the thigh. I want to go slightly below the knee. So I take my foot out a little bit. And then as I go down over this slightly below the knee, now I'm getting a stretch. So you have to find which one works for you. So it's either right over the thigh, or if you're not getting a stretch, you start to come further down your lower leg. So you're turning the body more into center position. So you be careful with this one as well. But remember, it doesn't matter how far you get, because in this position at the moment, I'm getting a strong pull through my back muscles. And just start to breathe slowly and gently into it. And then with time, you relax at the elbows. You can rest on the elbows. And then walk out through your fingers. Try and keep your fingers in line, otherwise you'll give an imbalance of the stretch through the back muscles. Yesterday I spent 30 minutes doing kick exercises in the pool, and I feel them today. So the gluteals are very tight. So this is the balance from yesterday. Concentration leads to tranquility, leads to insight. Three more breaths in your own time. And you slowly walk out. Be very careful coming out of the position for your knees. Straighten up the left leg, the right leg, straighten up the left. Then we're going to come up on our knees. Now we're up on our knees. Oh, it's always a relief to see some heads popping up. Some smiles as well. Up on the knees. So we're going to do a stretch up. A simple inhale as we come up. And we clasp. We're going to reverse the clasp. That's all we're looking for. We're keeping the arms at the ears. Our whole upper torso is elongated. Inhale, lift up. And then exhale, just gently ease the arms back beyond the ears. Not by dropping the chin. So we're inhaling as we come up. Exhaling as we gently ease the shoulders back. Inhale up. I know it's a strong one. Exhale, just ease them back. You got a lovely squeeze of the shoulder muscles. A couple more in your own time. Inhale, up we come. Exhale, gently push them back. Release the clasp. Stretch up, out, 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 out. Stretch from the shoulders to the elbows. Elbows to the wrists. Wrists. And that strange situation where they don't want to go down. Just to make clothing. We're into this one. So we're keeping the elbow high. We inhale, exhale as we turn to the right. Keep the elbow, the left elbow up. Stay around here. Inhale, stretch through, lift up with the elbow. Exhale, release. Inhale as we come back, we slide the left hand along the right arm. Comfort breath. Inhale, exhale as we slide to the left. Keep the elbow up. I look a bit funny because I'm trying to keep my hand away from the microphone. But you're getting the contraction with the shoulder, elbow, the right elbow up. You're keeping your chin parallel to the ground. You're looking right along to the thumb of the left arm. Inhale, exhale as you allow the twist to continue. Inhale to come back. I like this next one after doing this, but we inhale as we raise the clasp. Stretch up, 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 and really lift up. Take a comfort breath as you soften. And this is the one we'll come down with. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale as we release. Slowly, 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 slowly. I can feel all the blood and lymph rushing back into my shoulders. And again, look, I've let go of my fingers and the arms don't want to go anywhere. I could get a freelance scarecrow job, yeah? And they still don't want to move. But I'll force them down. I'll be here all day. Remember the, really let go of the arms. I think it's traffic lights next. Oh dear, traffic lights. Okay, this next one, we don't lower our arms from this position. So you can put your arms, your torso, your fingers, you can do anything you want, but we don't want to lower the arms from this position. So for example, the resting position is this. So if you want to rest, you can stay in this position, you'll feel a lot better. But we don't want to lower them from this, and it's only your arms, remember, there's no weights attached to the arms. So for example, I inhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. I can do any movement I wish, but you're not lowering the arms. Exhale, inhale, stretch out, exhale, soften. And you'll see this is where the concentration leads to tranquility and leads to insight. You can take the breath and you take the breath directly into the back of the neck. As you inhale, visualize that breath coming in. And as you exhale, flush the breath through the neck, shoulders, and arms. And this takes your mind away from what's actually happening. Inhale, exhale. Anything you want. Inhale, exhale. That's a resting one. You can smile in this one. I don't think you'll be smiling in any other ones. It's up to you how long you stay in this position, because what's happening is you're building up lactic acid, but with taking the breath in the back of the neck and flushing it away with your visualization, it won't build up so quickly. When I used to climb these hills on the bike with my 55 kilos, I was doing this with my legs. I was taking the breath in and flushing the area to take my mind off what was happening to the muscles. But audio movements are pretty quick, so that breaths are. This is directing traffic. If you were directing traffic somewhere in Indonesia, there'd be a crash by now. But you get the idea. Four more movements in your own time. And then you know what the last one's going to be, stretching up, and stretching out. Now, even after that, my arms still don't want to go down. I can't say they're especially comfortable, but they don't want to go down. I'm not actually contracting any muscles, just with the movements. The muscles have realized what they have to do, and they still want to do it. So this is muscle memory. Now we'll force them down. Ooh, now I feel all the fresh blood rushing into the muscles, which carries away the metabolic waste, which reduces the chance of aches and pains the next day. So when people say you must go for the burn, that's okay if you're going for a gold medal, but you don't have to go for a burn every day in the gym. Right. Now we're going to do the camel. Now the camel is a very strong posture, but if you think we've worked on the legs, we've worked on the twist, we've worked on the shoulders. So there's many adjustments for the camel. So what we do is you tuck your toes under, which raises your heels. You want your heels higher up. So we're tucking the toes under. And you want to check that you can do this relatively easy. So we take our arms, spread out our arms, and then just take your left hand round and just see that you can find your left ankle quite comfortably. So the toes are tucked under, which raises the heel. And this is all we're doing. So if you're quite comfortable to find your left heel with your left hand, this is what we shall do. So we inhale and we stretch out through the fingers. And as we exhale, we turn around, catch the left heel with the left hand, gently lean back, and we stretch up with the right arm. So we're inhaling as we stretch up, exhaling as we soften and gently edge our pelvic area forward. So we inhale as we stretch up, up, up through the fingertips. Exhale, soften. Now, you're not leaning on this heel. You're using it as a minimal support, but you're not letting all your body weight go on this heel. It defeats the purpose. It's just there as a guidance. Inhale as we stretch up. Exhale, gently thrust forward and relax. Now, this is initial postures. There's far more layers than this. But to come out, you contract your thighs and your gluteals. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go down. Because you know what's coming now, we're going to the right side. If you feel that was too easy and you easily found your ankle, then you can release your toes, which will lower your heels, which will give it a stronger stretch. So I'll release my toes just to let you see, but you can keep your toes tucked under, which means so we're going to do the right hand side. We inhale, stretch out, we turn around, right hand on the right heel. Inhale as we stretch up.
Inhale, stretch up, edge forward and soften. Now to come out, you contract the gluteals and the thighs because it is a strong posture. Inhale as you come up and you can feel what happens to the thighs and gluteals. Exhale down. Now we're going to do this once more. You can have the toes tucked under, which keeps the heels high, down to the same side. Or if you want to try it a slightly stronger dimension, then you're going to opposite heel. So I'll demonstrate this very, very quickly. I inhale, stretch out. I've still got my toes tucked under. I'm turning around to the left and I'm leaning back to the opposite heel. And have my toes tucked under. Now I'll let you see the difference. If I drop my toes out, so the heels go much lower, stretch around, and it's a significantly bigger stretch to come back like this. So this just gets more and more challenging. So find the level that works for you and you stay with it, because it's not getting into this posture, it's getting out. Because to come out of this posture, you're coming from away back here, and you're really having to use your gluteal and thigh muscles to come up. And of course, what happens is you switch your arms and you take opposite ankles. So it gets a bit silly. But we will just continue with the toes tucked under, the heels high. Inhale, and you can either drop with your left hand down to your left ankle, or you can drop around to your right ankle. Inhale as we stretch up. Exhale, soften. The camel. So I'll just reiterate, the easiest camel is toes tucked under, heels as high as they can be, and we're just gently dropping back with the left hand to the left heel. This is the easiest camel you can do. If you can't reach your heels, of course, you just turn around and put your hand on your buttock or your outside of your thigh, and you gently lean back and stretch up. You're getting the same stretch, but not as strong. So just continue both sides at your own pace. Inhale, you stretch your fingers out. Exhale as you turn around to whichever side you're on. Relax into the position. The camel. I'll get this one in the yoga book. I think everyone has the book. It's a wonderful stretch. And it's never about getting into a posture. It's about coming out of it and keeping the same class, awareness, breath without damaging your body. Okay, if you just like to lie down in Shavasana, lie down in Shavasana. Check your hands up, palms are facing upwards. Check that your feet are floppy. Take your lower back and compress it to the ground and release. Take that gap in your spine at the lower back and your lordosis, compress and release. Because you think what you've just done with your spine, leaning backwards. Again, a few more of these. Inhale, compress the lower back onto the ground and release. Couple more. Inhale, compress and release. We'll just finish with a few boats. So our palms are down the side of our body. And we're going to inhale, and we gently lift up the chin, look towards our toes, gently lift up our hands to the side of our thighs. And assuming you've no lower back conditions, you gently lift your ankles a few centimeters off the ground. Inhale as we look. Exhale as we gently lower down. Take a comfort breath. Inhale, you hold the breath. Look towards your toes. Take your hands up the side of the thighs, the feet a few centimeters off the ground, just enough to clear your calf muscles. And gently lower down. I'm actually getting a little shake in my legs with this one after all the work I did yesterday. Inhale as we come up in your own time. Tuck a chin in, hands at the side of the thighs. Look towards the toes. It's contracting abdominals. You can feel what's happening in your thigh muscles. Gently lower down. 3 more in your own time, if you wish. Breathe in slowly and deeply. Now you feel the warmth come into the body. Inhale, hold the breath up. Look towards your toes. Gently lower down. Inhale, look, chin into sternum. Hands at the side of the thighs, look towards the toes. And relax into Shavasana. Adjust your head. Check that your feet are floppy. Lift up the left shoulder, roll it down. Lift up the right. I want you to take a breath into the base of the spine. Take a breath into the base of the spine. And as you exhale, flood your buttocks, thighs, hamstrings, knees, backs of the knees, calf muscles, shins and ankles. As you exhale and relax. And again, the breath into the buttock area. Saturate that area and exhale buttocks, hamstrings, thighs, kneecaps, behind the knees, calf muscles, shins, ankles, toes. Once more, in buttocks, thighs, hamstrings, backs of the knees, kneecaps, shins, calf muscles, ankles, soles of the feet and toes. Now inhale into the groin area, the underwear areas, is that pelvic area. Inhale and saturate that area with the breath. Exhale, soften and release. Inhale into the pelvic area, saturate it with breath, energy, awareness, healing, and soften. Once more. Into the lower pelvic area, saturate with energy, soften. Now your abdominal area, where your belly button is, a big ring around from the belly button round to the lower back. Inhale and just saturate that area with the breath, healing, energy. Prana, as it's called in yogic terms. Exhale and soften and surrender. And again, inhale, saturate. Soften and surrender. Now your chest area, in line with your heart, a big band around from the front of the chest, around the upper back, under your armpits. Inhale, expand that rib cage. Soften and release and saturate. 2 more to this area. Inhale the heart area. Feel the rib cage expanding. And wait for your natural pause. Exhale and soften. Lastly, to the heart area. Now we have the neck, shoulders, and arms. So take a breath right into the back of the neck. I instinctively started smiling because I know the sensation. Back of the neck. And then flood the back of the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the fingers. Breath in the back of the neck. Wait for your natural pause. Exhale, soften, surrender. Healing, awareness, concentration leads to tranquility, leads to insight. Last one into the back of the neck. Lastly, the whole of your head. So take the breath in to the whole of your head. Saturate all of your scalp, your eyes, your cheekbones, your teeth, your gums, your jaw, your nose, your ears. Exhale and soften. And again, take a breath in through the nose, saturate top of the skull, the eyebrows, the ears, eye sockets, the jaw, the teeth, the gums, the tongue. And let go. Last one. Inhale. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Immersing myself in this present moment. I know it's a beautiful moment. Let the whole body go. Completely let go of all your weight onto the ground. Stay in this position relaxing, and I'll read out the quote. From the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. I'll read that once more. The individual has always had to struggle to keep from being overwhelmed by the tribe. If you try it, you will be lonely often and sometimes frightened, but no price is too high to pay for the privilege of owning yourself. Deep breaths. Remember,
Concentration leads to tranquility, which leads to insight. Namaste.